Autumn, thank you for being here on the Muppet Mindset.
Thank you, Jared, for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, obviously, there's a lot of turmoil in the world at the moment. The pandemic's going on as we're recording this. There's chaos all around the world. Just wonder if you can tell me, how has Sesame Street been adapting its curriculum to the sort of current climate?
Yeah, well, what's really interesting about Sesame Street is that we have been able to adapt the curriculum ever since the beginning from 1969. So every year to 2 years, we're able to look at the curriculum, kind of decide what's going on in the world of children's education, what's going on in the world, what's happening with society. And then we bring in experts and educators and to work with our in-house educators in production and research to come up with what are the best educational goals to be teaching children in the moment.
Hmm.
What's great about nowadays is that with digital media, we're able to react to things that are happening in the moment.
Hmm.
With the show, it's a little bit different because we have a lead time with production.
Yep.
The great thing is that in children's education, there are those core skills that always have to be present, things like having to regulate your emotions, being able to label emotions, pay attention, those kind of core
Hmm.
skills in order to
Hmm.
be able to learn math and literacy and whatnot. But what's great, even with everything that's going on with COVID, we've been able to respond very quickly, and we created an area of the website that's called Caring for Each Other, which has all of these resources that families and adults and kids can use right now in the moment.
Yep. Yep. Well, I've been quite impressed as well at how quickly Sesame has adapted to a lot of the things going on at the moment. You've done two or three town halls with CNN, talking
Mm-hmm.
about racism and talking about COVID. What's been the process of putting those together, and especially in such a quick turnaround?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, our production and creative team are like their ability to be able to react very quickly is it's been amazing during this time, especially because we're all at home. We're doing remote production. We're working with CNN for those town halls.
Hmm.
So it's a great collaboration where we all get together. We work with the educators in Sesame Street and any
Hmm.
other advisors that we need to reach out to and come up with what those talking points are.
Yep.
And then very quickly, we get drafts of scripts in and we have everybody review. And, before we know it, it'll be a week later and we're remote, filming
Hmm.
with, Grover at his house.
Yep. It's
It's amazing.
it's been incredible. I've been extremely impressed, and also impressed that Sesame Street is willing to take on this stuff because, like, now Sesame's never shied away from a lot of the big things. But it's been, yeah, quite impressive that, especially, going back to like the racism one from a couple of weeks ago, that that was a big, heavy topic. And it was literally only a few days, I think, that you decided to change from COVID to racism for that
Hmm.
CNN town hall. Yeah, it's one of those moments that made me quite proud, just to be just a little footnote in Sesame Street's little history. Um, Now you are a writer for season 50, correct?
Yes, season 50.
Season 50, obviously a big year. How did the team sort of go about making it that little bit extra special?
Season 50 has been the most amazing experience.
Hmm.
We have the big anniversary special,
Hmm.
which was basically taking us through all 50 years. We had, you know, cast from the very beginning. We had, surprise guests, characters that haven't been
Hmm.
on in a really long time, and then really great celebrities, and just being able to recreate some of those nostalgic moments and do some of the songs that we haven't done in a long time.
Yep.
Having Kermit come back and visit, I mean,
Hmm.
that's definitely a highlight of my career. So that was something that was really big. We have a street naming in New York City. So now when somebody asks you where Sesame Street is or how to get to Sesame Street, we can actually tell them how to
Hmm.
get to Sesame Street. We've had the Empire State Building light up. We've done a lot of events for kids, and we had Big Bird's road trip, which I
Yes.
think was like our biggest, most, that was spectacular.
Hmm.
We brought Big Bird out across the country from the East Coast to the West Coast. We hit 10 cities. And during that time, we did meet with a lot of kids, but then also had a lot of great events for families
Yep.
in these communities, which was really, really special.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the 50th anniversary special, which was incredible. I watched it about 3 times.
I
Um,
love it. Thank you.
you had guest characters like Captain Vegetable and Lefty the
Hmm.
Salesman and Don Music. Um, did you have a favorite that got to come back?
Oh, well, I'm a big fan of Mumford.
Yep.
So I love when he just kind of makes a cameo.
Hmm.
Like I remember him back from my days. Seeing Lefty was really great.
Hmm.
Trying to sell everybody else the letter S.
Hmm.
Kermit by far
Yep.
was one of my favorite moments. But seeing, like Hoots saying, put down the ducky,
Hmm.
being able to reimagine some of these songs with some of those characters that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yep.
But it was a really, really cool experience.
Yeah. Um, have you got a favorite moment from season 50?
Oh, I would say I do. There is this moment where I was on the road trip with Big
Yep.
Bird, and we were able to close down one of the bridges in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And it was just Big Bird walking across this bridge out in the wide open. And I just sat there and I had this moment where I was like, I have one of the coolest jobs on the planet.
Yep.
Like, what an
Yep.
experience. So I just feel so completely lucky and grateful.
That's it. I mean, how many times do you have to pinch yourself that this is your job?
So much. I mean, even with this special,
Yep.
having all of those, like the core cast members from over the years, at the very end, sing
Yep.
all
Hmm.
together. That moment, we all kind of just stood back and were in awe that we were able to get this group of people together
Yep.
and to sing that
Hmm.
song. It was really
I
special.
can imagine. Well, you have an incredible job. I'm very jealous. I appreciate you taking some time out to chat to us.
Thank you. It was lovely. Thank
It's
you
a
for having
pleasure. Feel
me.
free to come back whenever you like.
Yes, I
Thank you
will.
very much. Cheers.
Bye.